Welcome to I'ma Talk About It. I'm Alicia E., empowerment coach and ancestral healer, and I'm here to teach you how to break generational cycles, self-advocate, and ascend to happiness without the guilt of wanting a better life for yourself. You don't have to choose the same path as those before you. You can choose a better way, your way. Because if we can each heal ourselves today, we can heal the world tomorrow, together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am so excited for today. I'm going to actually use my smooth jazz voice today. Just kidding, but not really, because it's late and I'm tired. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for this episode, and I kept going back and forth between doing this one on Lionsgate and about, manifesting with your sexual energy, your sacral energy, which I think I'm still going to do, but I'm going to do it after this one. I actually only record my podcasts like maybe 4 days in advance because I want to make sure that the energy kind of aligns with what I'm going to be sharing. Like, I don't like bulk recording because if something comes up, if something changes, I want to be able to just go with the flow. So today we are going to talk about Lionsgate and global change and shifting energy because it's extremely relevant. And with everything that we're seeing in politics, I wanted to ensure that people knew how to best alchemize their energy to create the change that they want to see in the world. For instance, like myself, as some of you know, or if you're new here, I am an artist, an activist, and a healer. And so I use the energy of Lionsgate to really call forth a different energy within myself to bring my larger manifestations into fruition with the launch of my song, with my programs, with my move. Everything has been divinely orchestrated and also just scheduled, a little bit of both, by me so that I can sit within this golden energy. And if you're new to Lionsgate, Lionsgate is a really powerful portal. Like, the portal has been open for about a couple of days and it stays open for a while after 8/8. It is a very powerful golden time. It's basically like if you want to push yourself onto a rocket ship and blast off into into your future timeline and land there with grace, this is basically the time to do that. You are not only supported energetically, but you're also supported astrologically. So when you really think of like Leos, right? Like, Leos are very bold. They stand out, especially if you have like a Leo rising. Myself, I'm a Leo rising, so I have no problem being in the spotlight, and even just having the position of the rising sign. Like, it's something that I'm meant to do, right? I rise into that sign. That's how risings work. Leos are there to be the strength. Like, they have a strength about them, but they also have like a regal energy to them, like an inner knowing, a steadiness, a support system, right? They have it all together. Not saying that you have to have it all together, but when you think of the energy of a lion or Lionsgate or Leo energy and how it is a literal lion, like, what do you really think about, right? These animals that are just ruling over the land in whatever way that, not even that they please, but in whatever way is natural to them, right? Like, it's cyclical, it's a part of who they are. And so when you apply that energy to us as not felines, you really see it as stepping in to your own power and being the creator and ruler of your own reality so you can manifest the life that you want and to also create change. And those who are here right now to really manifest a life that's going to make an impact. This portal this year, with the year of the dragon, is going to be extremely, extremely powerful. So if you don't have your manifestations written out or ready to go, I highly recommend you do that right now. So when you think about why it's really important as activists and healers and musicians, coaches, whatever it may be, this is an opportunity for all of us to get together and be intentional about how we truly envision the future of this world, right? Whatever you put into this portal will be manifested times 10 on the other side. So if we all hold the vision of creating change, of peace, of using our art and our gifts as healers and mediums and psychics to help people heal so we can move forward, then that is the world that we create. So, I've talked about this before, but a lot of things around astrology and spirituality have been appropriated, right? So a lot of people look at Lionsgate as just a time to manifest, but it's not just that. It's a time for you to really step into the person and the energy that you want to be going forward for your life, right? Like, this is the time you call on your highest self and you begin to embody it. You take that step forward boldly so that you can create change. It's so much more than just about manifesting. Like, manifesting has been so misused now on every social media platform that people forget that this innate or inherent energy or power, whatever you want to call it, that lives within many of us has been used and has been around for a really long time. The only reason why we're calling it manifestation is because people don't know how to be within an energy that is very much so ancestral. So when you go to sit down to think about what it is that you want to manifest, what you're calling in, and you put it on your dream board to move forward for the rest of this year and part of next year or till next Lionsgate, be intentional about it and really think about it as this is your moment to create lasting change forever, right? If you are wanting to create wealth in your life, how can you not just create wealth, but how can you create generational wealth for not just yourself, but for everybody around you? How can you use that generational wealth to better your community, to put in places that are actually going to help the homeless, to have shelters or medical care that people can actually access, right? How can you use your wealth to help the space around you? Because it's time also as artists and healers and activists that we stop being so narrow-minded about manifestation and how we show it up in the world. And colonialism has really taught us to be very individualistic, as I've talked about this before, but manifesting is meant for everybody. Like, it's for everyone. And if you find that you are manifesting from a place of selfishness, which would be just for yourself, without a community vision, your manifestation will drop short every single time, right? And with the way that astrology is right now, and I've been saying this literally for almost a year now, that the scales are being balanced. If you are not someone of pure intention who is calling on the energies of the ancestors and calling on spirit and your guides, you will meet a different sense of repercussions this time. And it'll be swift. And I keep seeing this with people all of the time. And, there's not really much you can do about it other than to clear your own energy and admit to yourself where maybe you've dropped the ball and maybe you've been too focused on greed, right? And, even for myself, I was having a hard time really claiming my own manifestations, not because of greed, but because people around me had problems with greed. So this is also something you can look at. People around me were greedy and then, ended up shaming me for wanting more money without really understanding why I was doing it, right? Like, I don't make my music or run my programs or do what I do, be on, a TV show to compete for myself. Like, none of this is for myself. It's never been about me. And as we go back to episode 1, that's like the first thing I say. Like, it's literally called accountability is not just about you, right? Be really honest with yourself, right? And I understand, especially as an intersectional person in this world who presents as Black and is femme, and also queer, how challenging it can be to not feel like you're fully supported, especially when it comes to your finances, right? Like, we have had to historically work a lot harder than others, and we also historically work really hard so we can help others. like, and so when I say, like, don't be selfish, and I'm speaking to the folks who are intersectional and who give too much to people, it's okay to manifest for yourself and have security so you can manifest for other people as well. So don't forget that step, because I just want to make sure that I'm being clear, right? Like, where is your mindset? Are you only manifesting for yourself, or are you just manifesting for the future? Or like, could you have a balance of creating stability for yourself and creating stability for other people, right? Like, we always want to make sure that we pay it forward. And many of us who are intersectional and are in this space have very large hearts, and it sometimes ends up being the receiving part that's kind of difficult sometimes. So also sit with that with Lionsgate, right? Because if you're manifesting right now, your manifestations are going to come really fast, like super fast. The things that have been happening to my email and my phone in the last couple of days is wild. Like, things that are supposed to take a week took 30 minutes, and it was like back to me. Like, so sit with that energy and just think about what you want to call in, and like write that you're like ready to receive it if you're ready to receive it. And if it's, fear or something that's coming up for you, and whether or not you can handle it, right? Because that, I've seen that come up. I was just delivering a message to a dear friend about their fear, 2 of them actually, while I was driving through Atlanta, because sometimes that happens. If it's fear that you have, how can you fully allow yourself to let go this time? Like, what is it that you need to be able to feel less fear? And I also, if you haven't checked out on my social media, I talk about 3 things that helped me get over my fear. And a lot of it came down to like safeguarding my projects and my ideas, being around people who were doing what I wanted to do so that I could normalize it, right? My brain couldn't tell me anymore that it was fake or it's not real, or I didn't have the voices of my family members replaying in my head and all these negative things, right? So I had to build an environment for myself that was sustainable for me to flourish in. And I think the last one I mentioned on there, because I had a bunch, I had like a hard time deciding, was really having consistent habits, even down to, my rituals and what I was doing. Was I consistently meditating? Hell yeah. Like, I consistently meditate all the time. I even have my alarm set. I meditate like 4 times a day. I do my prayers. I like put out coffee for my ancestors. I share food with them. So all of this really helped me move past my fear. And every day I move past my fear. And, with the launch of my new song, it was a whole different kind of fear. People see you in a whole different kind of way, a whole different kind of way. So it's important to know that there is a solution if you do have fear, right? Try not to tell yourself at this time that it's hard to get out of it, or there's no way out, or anything. Really shift as hard as you can into belief and that there's a solution, right? Because if you're someone who's very like logical, logically driven, sure. Sometimes you need proof, right? And the only proof that you really need is that people who are in the position now at some point had fear and now they're in a great spot, right? Like that's how I always try to remember. The only difference between me and someone who's like a multimillionaire is that they didn't give up when they started to feel a little fear. They kept going, right? And as I say, because I love Mellow Will, which always stuck with me, was just do it scared. Like just do it. It doesn't matter. Just like do it scared, even if you're shaking. Like I tell myself, like sometimes I'll be sitting at my computer just like making noises, trying to process what the hell is going on, and then I just click the button, right? I just click the button, I keep going, and I'm like, okay, what's next? I check my calendar and I don't think about it, because if I sit there and I'm like, let me think about it, let me go text my friends about, like, I'm gonna slow my shit down first of all, like, and then I'm gonna get all up in my head, and then before you know it, I'm gonna be curled up in a ball in bed like, what did I do? You know, it's like, what are people gonna say? It's like, I don't give a fuck what people say. What if they say everything that I've ever wanted to hear? Like, good job, Alicia, we're cheering you on, right? Remember these things. Like, try not to, catastrophize your entire life when you could be glorifying your entire life and creating a different energy within yourself. So with Lionsgate, again, do your best to create the life that you really, really want to manifest for yourself, and be the person that you've always wanted to be. This is the year. This is the time. These are the days, right? Take it as serious as that. I just keep hearing that Eminem song. This song has been playing in my head for like months. You only get one shot to not win it. You know, like, you only get one shot. If you had one shot, what would you do with that one shot? Would you go worry about it? No. You would be like, okay, if I have one opportunity to like put everything out there in a big fucking way, like what would I do, right? I had to tell myself that all the time. When I wrote my book, when I shipped my books off to people and asked them for help, I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how famous you are. You have a platform, and I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna be knocking your door like, hey, what's up? Right? Like, if I had one opportunity, what would I do? Get it in front of people and ask them for help. Like, that's exactly what I do. Right? Like, go to the most visible people so I can get them to change, so they can help create change. So what is it for you? What are your dreams? How do you want to help this world? What do you need? Who do you want to be? Go with the flow. And you don't have to have all the answers right now. And you don't have to be like, this is my identity. But can you allow yourself to grow into that identity and be in the flow? And just let things show up in your life and let them unfold as they will, divinely timed, right? But again, I just want to remind everybody that please use this Lionsgate to your advantage, and say thank you to your ancestors and your guides and spirit for helping you out every step of the way. Like, this is the perfect time to do it, especially during this portal. Ancestors are like wilding out right now, and they're waiting for you to also say thank you. So say thank you to them, because they're always around, and they love you. They love you. So show them some love. Because they're also going to be with you the rest of your life and the rest of your journey. So would you not thank the people who have been helping you this whole time? I don't think so. Even if you can't always connect with them, doesn't mean they're not there. Doesn't mean they're not influencing your life and your decisions. They're there 24/7. So they never get off the clock. They're always on the clock. And they need you too, to also heal so they can heal. But yeah, make sure that you are using this portal to create change. to be there for your community, manifest your dreams so you can help others manifest their dreams, and we can, take out all of these elite people right now who are not helping the world, redirect that money to people who are wanting to help the world and then actually help the world, right? Let's all manifest that. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. So I am sending you lots of love and lots of hugs. If you haven't already, go pre-save my song. It actually drops on the 16th, but I have the pre-save link open right now. And the more that you go and save it and you share it to people, the more the algorithm begins to pick up and lets them know that this is a song to push out. And as many of you know, again, everything I do is to help countries in need. Specifically, right now, I am advocating for the Congos. They need a lot of help and they need a lot more visibility. So I'm going to be using as much as my funds and my gifts and talents and whatever I have to really bring as much visibility to this as possible, and generational healing, and being an advocate for many things in this world that are so deeply needed. So if you could please go pre-save that song, I will put the link in the show notes. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here, for showing up for me and showing up for yourself. And I cannot wait to talk to you on the next episode.
Hey, if you're ready to ascend to happiness and live the life you've always wanted, join me in my Empowered Living Facebook group for socially conscious healers, witches, and spirituals, and sign up to get my free Empowered 5 Practices to Ascended Happiness guide. It's helped others expand their consciousness and soar beyond sight, sound, and imagination in just one day. It's the catalyst you need to embrace your magic and change the world. Just click the link in the show notes, and I'll see you in the group next time.